Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie Bree, and today I'm avoiding election news, which I'll also be doing tomorrow. Tomorrow is election day, but given how I operate, these videos might not be available until Wednesday. We'll see. Today happens to be Monday, November 4th. I very rarely date these videos. Oops. But the topic for today is something a lot of y'all probably aren't all that familiar with, but if you grew up in the Midwest, and specifically in the Great Plains of Nebraska or Kansas or even Oklahoma, I'm sorry if you lived in Oklahoma, my condolences, but you probably heard of corn mazes and or hay rides. And if you're from like anywhere else in the world, you're scratching your head going, what the fuck is she talking about? So when you live in a small rural community, we're not even going to say town because there are no towns in Kansas. There's like 5 or 6, but most of them are just communities, gatherings of people, mostly a collection of houses and a gas station somewhere, and a gas pump at the co-op. We'll have to talk about what a co-op is in another video. But if you live in one of these rural farming communities, and maybe they have this down in the South, I don't know. I never lived in the South. I know they've got farms in the South, but their farms are different. They've got like cotton, and I don't know what they grow in the South besides cotton, I guess. Tobacco, maybe? I don't know. But in the Great Plains, they grow a lot of corn, but they also grow a lot of wheat. And so they utilize the assets at their disposal to entertain their miserable, sad lives, which I had to do, unfortunately, growing up in shitville nowhere, because that's what you do. And so, in addition to your standard small town festival that you have once a year, celebrating who the fuck knows, it's always something weird, fly. You also have like, your annual, parade, usually around Thanksgiving or near Christmas. Sometimes you have, some kind of harvest celebration because they don't like to celebrate Halloween because they think it's satanic. Or they do, more so, I guess, in Kansas and Nebraska than they do probably down in the deep South. But there's still a lot of weirdos. But anyways, you have two other forms of, I'm going to say, mostly fall entertainment. And I'm using the word entertainment loosely here. And one of them is your corn maze. Now, typically, the way a corn maze operates is somebody, usually the hospital or the community college if your town has one, maybe the Walmart, who knows. Somebody has a field somewhere around the area that they plant a whole bunch of corn back in the summer. And then in the early fall, well, between summer and fall, September, October, the early part of the fall, they go in with various mechanical utensils, I'm not sure how they do this, and they cut down the corn in different ways, so you end up with what's known as a corn maze. There's no point to the corn maze. It's like a Pac-Man maze. Once you're in it, you're in it. You just sort of wander around, and I don't know if there's a goal or an objective, because I never went in the corn maze myself, because I saw Children of the Corn when I was very little, and I wasn't stupid. I'm like, no, there's like scary things in the corn. I'm not going in the cornfield. That's stupid. That's where they keep the big machines that chop people up into little pieces. I saw Man in the Moon with what's her face? It's not Drew Barrymore, the other blonde. There's a million blonde actresses. I apologize. You know what I'm talking about. Man in the Moon. Guy falls off the combine, gets chopped up into pieces. Legally Blonde. What's her name? You know who I'm talking about. Anyways. So I was like, yeah, no, I don't think so. I have no reason. Plus, that's how my grandpa died. He actually fell into a piece of farm equipment, and it chopped him up. So, yeah, I'm scared of farm equipment. I don't have any reason to go into the cornfield. Sidebar, my first job at 13 years old, well, W-2 job where they gave me a paycheck, I should say. I had other jobs, but was detasseling corn. But that's not a corn maze, but you're going in with a large group of people, so it's like you feel safe. Although it is a bunch of children of the corn age kids going into the cornfield, so maybe I shouldn't have felt safe. I don't know. Anyways, so there's this thing called a corn maze. The other thing is known as a hayride. Now, what the fuck is a hayride? Well, some hillbilly will have a pickup truck, and 9 times out of 10, it's a Ford F-150 with pulling a flatbed trailer behind the pickup truck. And the flatbed will be stacked up with a row of hay bales. What do? Well, you climb onto top of the back of the pickup truck flatbed. You sit on a hay bale, and the hillbilly goes in a circle around the designated path, and that's it. I know, it sounds stupid, but when you live in Nowheresville, fuck all, what are you going to do besides watch the grass grow and count the sunflower seeds in the field across the highway? You got 2 channels on the TV because you're too far out in the country, and you should be able to get 3 or 4 channels on a good day, but your antenna's broken because you're poor, and, you know, the hailstorm bent the antenna, so you can only get 2 channels on a good day. And it's usually PBS and one other channel that's got, like, fucking, you know, Geraldo. And it's like, I'm not going to fucking watch Geraldo, and there ain't shit all to watch on PBS, so I'm going to go outside and count the sunflower seeds again, because maybe it's changed since yesterday. I don't know. I ain't got nothing else to do. And so, we have these, you know, whenever there's, like, some sort of fall celebration, sometimes it's during homecoming, sometimes it's because they do this during homecoming, sometimes it's during, I don't know, the Thanksgiving parade, or just the fall festival, or Halloween, whatever. They just, like, pile a bunch of kids, and sometimes they charge for this. I know, it's weird. You know, like, it's like $1 or something. It's like, hey, kids, let's pay this hillbilly $1 so we can sit in the back of his pickup truck on top of a hay bale for 10 minutes while we drive around town. Well, really, just around the block and back. And that's it. And they only drive, like, 10, 15 miles an hour because they don't want kids to fall off the back of the pickup truck and die. Because, you know, that would probably happen if you fell off of a pickup truck. Because they're deadly. And so, that's it. I really don't know what else to say other than if you lived in fuck all Nowheresville like I did, you probably maybe remember going on a hayride or possibly venturing forth into a corn maze. If you grew up in a city where you had cable TV and later on the internet and, you know, city parks and museums and things, you have no fucking clue what we're talking about. You think I'm making shit up. I wish I was, because hayrides are dumb and corn mazes are twice as dumb. Stay cool.